What is going on, guys? Shadow870 here, and I'm bringing you guys another CoD Breakdown, and today we're going to be looking at Dexterity. Now, Dexterity obviously is a perk 3 perk, and it's very widely used. In my opinion, I think that Dexterity is a really commonly used perk, and a lot of people prefer it, but Dexterity is kind of pushed aside because of Engineer, or maybe even Tactical Mastery, Extreme Conditioning. In my opinion, Dexterity is, I would say, top 3 perk. In my opinion, I think it's the best and my favorite perk in this game, and I find it to be the most useful. And Dexterity it's a great perk, and it's very useful, and you can use it all different types of ways. It's a very versatile perk, and it's just extremely useful. Now, I would like to put perks into 3 different categories. I like to put them into rushing, defensive, and stealth. And obviously we all know what the specific stealth ones are, and the defensive ones and the rushing ones, but Dexterity is, if you were going percentage wise, Dexterity is one of the biggest rushing perks. It's more of a rushing perk than it is a defensive perk, and it's nowhere near a stealth perk at all, but you can still use it in a defensive way, and you can still use it to where you're kind of, if you're caught sprinting, which most times when people are camping, they're not caught sprinting, or they hope not to be, but you can still use it in that way. But it's a huge rushing perk, and the reason is because it's obvious. You get to mantle over objects faster, and when you're running around, you're going to face situations where you have to mantle over objects. If you look at this gameplay, there's going to be plenty of times where I'm climbing up things trying to get to a certain spot, and Dexterity just leaves me that ability to get there quickly. If I took off Dexterity for at one point, and I just felt like I was completely, I don't even know, I felt like I was sluggish because I couldn't mantle over objects quickly. I feel like I can continue to move on with my life after I mantle over objects that quickly and that fast. That's why Dexterity is extremely useful while rushing. And there's a plethora of attachments and equipment that you can use to benefit from Dexterity, but there's 2 in specific that I want to talk about, and that's Extreme Conditioning and Quick Draw. And Extreme Conditioning, obviously, because you have a longer sprint duration, and the perk of Dexterity is that you aim quickly after sprinting. I think everybody can make that connection. It's obvious, with Extreme Conditioning, you can run a longer distance without having to worry about anything. You can run that long distance and you'll still be able to be prepared. So with Extreme Conditioning, a lot of people's issue is, well, I may be able to run faster, but sometimes may not be a situation where I need to run as long. So that's where Dexterity comes in, and it saves your ass. And Quick Draw is much more beneficial than Extreme Conditioning is. If you have an option, if you're sitting there like, oh man, should I put Extreme Conditioning or Quick Draw on? Put Quick Draw, trust me. Quick Draw is an extremely useful perk, and coupled with Dexterity, it's fucking deadly. It's a deadly ass perk, and it's a deadly ass combination put together. But it's not necessary. It's not completely needed, necessary. Like, you can't just use Dexterity without it. But if you put those 2 together, you're gonna kick some ass, and you're gonna kick some ass pretty fucking quickly. It gives you that option to react faster to most people. If you're running around a corner and someone pauses around and says, "Hey, bitch," then you have that ability to react to them and take them out really fast, rather than just dying because they shot you in the face and you're an idiot. But so coupled with Quick Draw, amazing combination. Don't underestimate it, because it's amazing. It's a very good combination. Weapons you want to use with Dexterity. I think this might be obvious, but it's not as obvious as some might think. As I said before, I put each perk into its own class, and I put Dexterity into the rushing class. And rushing guns are obviously SMGs and shotguns. You can say pistols, but really, how many people purely rush with pistols? I mean, so if you're using a pistol, it's still beneficial. It's more beneficial than if you were using a light machine gun. So, yeah, I would count pistols, but SMGs and shotguns are better for rushing. It's as simple as that. They're more powerful for rushing, and they're a lot better for rushing than pistols are. So, SMGs and shotguns. You guys might see that I barely ever use shotguns, and I mostly use SMGs. Almost every other gameplay or every few gameplays, SMGs are my favorite. You know, I love SMGs and I love every single SMG in this game. I can do well with every single one, and it's just it's awesome. They're my favorite class of weapon. So the fact that I like SMGs so much obviously means that one of the best rushing perks in this game is my favorite. But yeah, you can use it on shotguns and you can use it on SMGs. It's really up to you, but you have to make sure you plan it well. You know, some guns actually aim quicker than others with dexterity, you know. So, even though it may not seem like it, some guns feel better when it's aiming quicker with dexterity than others. And especially with like reflex, it might take a little bit longer, but it's really beneficial, and especially with something like reflex. You know, you're able to get your aim in faster. And overall, dexterity it's a very versatile perk, and I enjoy using it a whole lot. You know, it's a very handy tool for rushing. You know, because if you put on all these different rushing perks, dexterity is kind of like that piece that it's really helpful, and it's an all-around good perk. So I'm gonna give you guys a recommended class setup with dexterity. You don't have to use this class. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying it's a good idea, and it's something you might want to test out. It's something that I've really figured out I like to use. So you start out with an SMG shotgun of your choice. Personally, I like the Vector. So let's go with the Vector. Let's go with that gun. Let's go with the Vector. I like to put the Vector on with reflex, silencer, lightweight, fast hands, dexterity, ballistic knives, 2 concussions, and a Semtex. That's my opinion, and that's my personal class setup. It's a great class setup, and I enjoy using it so much. And Vector is my favorite SMG. So. But thank you guys for watching. Remember, the Dexterity is an all-around great perk. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment on what you thought of it. Later.